Hey friends, Libby O here with a brand new episode of the Libby O Show. I am so thrilled to be hanging out with my best friend, Sarah Darling.
I am so happy that I get to be part of Libby O Show.
I mean, always.
Well, we're just besties, so this is fantastic.
How did she do it? Do it.
Libby. Libby. Libby.
3, 2,
Libby.
1.
It's the Libby O Show.
And this is our environment. This is our happy place. 70s retro vintage inspiration.
Rainbow room. The rainbow room. I love it.
I'm so glad you're here.
I'm happy to be here.
And we're going to be hanging out. We have a very special partner that's joining us, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. And you have some new music coming out.
I have some brand new music. I first want to talk about this shirt, though, because your shirt
Thank
is
you.
amazing. I
The
love
shirt-
this shirt.
You know, I remember texting you and being like, are these patterns, are they
too much?
do they work? Are they too much? How do we feel about, because I
feel
love
like-
a good Peter Pan collar, but I
feel like
felt
this-
like
This shirt was made for this room.
it's made for this room.
It's made for this room.
Yeah, one of my favorite purchases in the last couple of months. So, yay for color.
Yes.
I also love this.
Thank you so much. Very, very much like a little Easter egg right now. Very springy right now.
I love it. What did you do today? Your mom's here joining us.
My mom is in the studio audience. You don't know this, but she is here, and it's her first time being on set, and we're really excited to have Diana here.
So excited. So obviously you have some new music coming out, but we've also spent a lot of time in the last 2 weeks filming music videos. One of them, Hippies and Cowboys, that's part of your upcoming record, and then Doozies for the 615 Collective. It's always such a fun time.
It's felt like such a creative few weeks, and you know I was saying this to my mom as well, like to be to that place where you've made all the music and then you get to put all the creative bits together. It's just such a fun thing, because I think I've imagined Hippies and Cowboys so many times in my mind, and I was like, I just want to find the super retro basement, which is a mutual friend of ours,
Katrina.
It's called the Faded Days Cave, and it's, super cool. But that song is a very authentic song, because my dad was a total hippie drummer, and I'm a little bit hippie too, but I'm also a cowboy.
Yeah.
And so it was cool to get everybody in there, and you were in it. So
I was in it. I was in
she
both of them.
Yeah, so it was great. I'm so excited about getting these videos out there, and shooting Red Mustang really soon.
Yes. I always think it's really cool when you visualize some sort of creative idea and it's been in your mind for a very long time, and then you finally get to the day where you realize why it took the time that it did to get to the point to create it. Because I know for myself, I've tried rushing projects or thinking I needed to do that big thing right now, but I look back and I'm glad that I paced myself with the resources that I had,
You and I both, our attention to detail is insane. So I feel like part of the reason we're friends is because of this. But I mean, when I was setting out to do Hippies and Cowboys, I went and bought 70s glassware.
Yeah.
I had all the outfits planned out, but even the food, I had made this
incredible Jell-O mold, and it had vanilla vodka in it. And I
whole
was like,
bottle.
this is danger, because
a 12-layer Jell-O vodka cake, basically. And I imagined this cake being in Hippies and Cowboys, because you know what, the 70s, as much as it was fun, they had some weird food.
They had some weird food.
I wanted to showcase it.
They didn't have, the whole shoot, I was like, I don't want to look at my cell phone because that's not a 70s thing, because they didn't have that. So they had to come up with their own random,
they were playing cards and
party favors and,
Exactly.
We're probably way more in the moment than we are these days.
It was really fun. I'm so excited to see that one come together. But I just love it because I feel like you and I are both, we it's a very visual thing, and it's like building a world, you
Yeah.
know, and putting all the props in there. And then at the end of it, like at the end of the night after a video shoot, I'm just like so tired because it's like you put like so much of your heart into it.
But also like mentally energized. Like when I leave a creative project that I've been planning and investing in,
Yeah.
I always leave going, wow, I'm
It's
so
almost
on
like
cloud
a high,
nine.
A high, yeah, exactly, exactly.
Wow.
But I'm pumped. And this album is, you know, really a tribute to all the music I grew up on. So I love Fleetwood Mac and Tom Petty, and it has this sort of like, I call it the American road trip vibe.
Yeah.
And you'll soon know what that means, but you'll want to just kind of turn this music up in the car and go on a road trip this summer. That's what I'm feeling, and it comes out this summer.
I've heard a little bit of it, and it's a vibe.
Yeah,
It is a whole
and
vibe.
I've pretty much, it's all finished. So I'm just gonna sit back and get to enjoy the, you know, watching my fans get to enjoy it, which is gonna be cool.
Can you talk about what's inspired this album? Because I know you released some music last year that was channeling that a little bit, but what makes this really, really special? This album in particular.
I wanted to really capture that sort of organic feel. You know, like my favorite records, like, you know, I'm going to say Tom Petty because Tom Petty is like one of my favorite artists of all time. If I could have seen a concert, it would have been a Tom concert. You know, like Learning to Fly, that song.
Best song.
It's such a great song, and it transports me to California, and I just feel something. And for me, it's not like super fancy production. It's just real. And there's this sort of like authenticity to it, real band feel, and just like the way the production is kind of just a dream, like this dream quality. And so for me, like I wanted to tap into that music that I grew up loving, and I kind of got away from it. And it's like this full circle moment now where I'm just recording music that reminds me of what I've always loved in the first place.
What has it been like being in a place where you can make a lot of those creative decisions?
It's scary,
Yeah.
but in a good way. Like I think when it's all on you to make all the creative decisions, you know, the way the record's going to sound, it's scary, but also the most fulfilling thing in the world, because from down to the way, you know, I dress to like going, you know, on stage, it's like it's a whole thing. It's a whole world that you create, and you want to like make it translate to your fans so they understand where your heart is and where, you know, where they can go down that story with you.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people have their own opinions on nostalgia or whatnot. But for me, I mean, it's a huge escape and like resting place for me to be thinking about things that were, I mean, that are lovely right now, but in the past were so like, I don't know, grounded in a way, and fun, and make people feel good and distract them from maybe the hard things that they're going through.
Absolutely. You know? It's a sunshine record. It is really a sunshine record. I know we talk about that a lot, but it's a very sunny 70s California record, and nostalgic, actually very nostalgic. Red Mustang is a standout track, and that is the most nostalgic just track. When I play it live, I have people come up to me with pictures of their old muscle cars.
Stop.
when they were like young, and they'll be like, let me show you this. And to me, that's really cool, because that's a connector. It's like, oh, it made me feel something.
And they're listening to the lyrics too. Like that means something to them.
Exactly. And it makes them feel like they were young and in love. And that there's something cool about that feeling that I just hold on to and I love in music.
Good Girl, is that song going to be on there?
Yes.
I'm really excited about that one.
This is your favorite one. Good Girl. I love Good Girl. Good Girl is this very fun song about, it's for all those girls, and I've been included in this, and I feel like us, that just need to let loose sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and just be like, you know what? Hey, guy over there in the denim jacket, you can buy me a drink. That's fine. That's cool. Whatever. Yeah. But it's about dropping the good girl act and just having, you know,
having a good time.
Having a good time.
And the next shoot that we did the next day with the Pedal Tavern, that's a really, really, it's going to be a good one.
In all the years of my Nashville life, Libby and I were on our first Pedal Tavern.
like several years. For me, like 14 years to do a pedal tavern.
And I'm going to tell you, I was exhausted.
I mean, it was a workout.
I was so tired. I'm like, wow, I'm getting older. The real pedal tavern really knocked me out. It was good, though. It was fun, though.
I think it's because we were dancing, pedaling, acting, singing. Like, it was a lot. We were doing a lot.
General Broadway public was just...
Dude, that just
Yeah.
wears you out.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. Well, I want to touch on some of your like favorite highlights in your career so far. I feel like that's like, I don't know, like some very memorable moments for you that, I don't know, that you...
I love that question. There's been some really amazing moments. I think when I think about, early on in my career, 2012, playing the Grand Ole Opry was a huge highlight because my family was in the audience. My grandpa was there. He was like one of my biggest fans, and that was a big deal for me to play the Opry. So I think that, when I think about early highlights, Opry, making my last EP, the last 2 EPs, including this one as well, I think musically I've really come into my own over the last few years, and just
Yeah, for sure.
I've kind of watched myself open up and just like not care what anyone else thinks about what I'm doing. And I think there's a freedom in that, of just kind of being like, you know what, if you don't like the way I dress or, this song, I actually, it doesn't matter. It's you making an artistic expression, and I think that is something I've grown into, and I think that's a highlight. And then I think, to England, like I was playing these shows with thousands of people, out in the audience, and just realizing that country music can translate all over the world. And that was a really special moment, just to be playing big shows in Europe, and that I maybe would never play here, and having a #1 in another country. My album went #1 over there, and that was just a really cool thing. These are like I would say my top highlights as well. And just being able to share it with the people that you love.
What's the difference between, maybe it's more of a question of like how the UK responds to country music versus US fans in your experience?
UK fans are so excited when US artists come over.
They're elated.
They're elated. Yes, they appreciate the singer-songwriter, the craftsmanship of a song, and I've just found that there's, whatever is different and new, is fun. And so I think, there is also an openness too. I think Americans are definitely a bit more. Whenever I go over there, it's like I dress like this, and you dress. You've gone over there.
Yeah.
It's like we're just ourselves.
We visited together. That was my first time in London, and I felt like it was in like a modern day Mary-Kate and Ashley Tours Europe episode, because we were taking photos, videos, visiting all the tour spots, all of your favorite local spots.
Yeah.
It was just great.
And, and sometimes, like it's great because I kind of feel like we're good for each other. Like it's good for me to go to England and play, and then vice versa. It's like we give and take. There's like lots of things to learn, and that's the great thing about traveling and playing music, is you get to take little pieces of souvenirs with you that shape who you are, musically, but fashionably. Like we've both bought stuff on the road, different places.
We've shared outfits. I know, like a lot of your 60s era of music.
Which is cool.
Like we met at a time where I'm still building my brand, but...
That's actually a cool story. I don't even know if people know this. This is fun.
We should tell people. Okay, so this is
a cool...
I love how... This is probably one of the best, like, friendship stories ever, because... So a couple years ago, I met Sarah through the 615 Collective, which I handle all of their creative direction and music videos. I MC their shows, and we were doing like the very first performance shoot.
We were at Springwater.
At Springwater Supper Club, which I had never been to before.
It's a dive bar.
And if you want another vintage hole in the wall place
experience,
that's it right there. But that's how I met Sarah, and we ended up becoming best friends. And I remember it was when I was starting to really hone in on like the 60s mod Bewitched Mary Tyler Moore look.
Yes.
In a modern way. And I was telling you kind of all about that. And she's like, yeah, like, so your brand's 60s. And you
I'm like,
are
come
like,
over.
this used to be, this is where I started in the retro space with my music.
And what's cool about it is that for me, when I was doing that 60s, it was like Brit, kind of 60s Brit vibes
Yeah.
because I was playing over there a lot and I had all these little 60s dresses and my music changed and I was like, these are so beautiful, these dresses, and it's like they
Yeah.
take a whole new life. And
I've gotten to help create more stories with them. And
Yeah.
there's one of my favorite pieces is the airplane dress.
The airplane dress is my
The
favorite.
airplane dress.
I love the airplane. And you know what? So when I think of the airplane dress, I think of Germany.
Which so my dad's side is German. Most people know this, but O is short for Ulrich, which is German.
German.
So,
And I wore that dress in
Right.
Hamburg. And I just always remember that dress being in Germany.
I love it.
It's a great story. I'm glad they
It's
know
great.
that now.
But anyways, the sweetest, most generous thing ever that anyone has done for me, and to like be able to take these pieces and give them a second life has been really special. And so
That makes me happy.
I love you.
Ah! Love you.
So anyways, you're going to
Love
see
fest.
more of those clothes on my show if you haven't already.
And I've turned into
Honestly, all the outfits in my theme song
they're all
they're all
we're just gonna call
repurposed
it
retro.
repurposed retro, and it's been fun for me to find new brands like Stoned Immaculate and kind of go into like a Janis Joplin. I'm in my Janis Joplin era right now.
Janis Joplin. There's someone else that I felt like. I mean, I feel like a little bit of Stevie Nicks, and then also
A little Stevie.
kind of
Sharon Tate vibes.
I was about to say Sharon Tate. Her like late '60s, early '70s. I feel like is
Yeah.
also your look.
Yeah. Little
So-
Nancy Sinatra thrown in there.
Nance, little Nance.
Little Nance.
I love it. Well,
It's good side topic there.
a side topic, and then I want to mention we did film a really fun cocktail segment that was an homage to the Brits. We made, I'm blanking on, we made a,
Hold on. It was called,
it was a cocktail, it was from
was-
your Peaky Blinders cocktail book.
it was from my Peaky Blinders cocktail book, and it was like a blackberry gin and tonic, basically. It was like
It's good.
yeah, based off of like a real pub that's still in Birmingham, United Kingdom. It's somewhere. Yeah, it's still there. But anyway, I forget. It's called like the Sidecar or something.
It was something
The gin- I don't know.
classic. I don't know.
Anyway.
You'll find out about it
You'll
at some
find out
point.
soon.
But champagne and French 75s are your typical go-tos.
Love French 75s.
I love a good sparkling cocktail, which, speaking of our favorite sparkling beverages,
I know you got something good for me.
I got something real good.
Okay.
And I'm so excited to announce that the Libby O Show has a brand new sponsor, a wine sponsor. Libby O Show is now brought to you by Libby Wines.
I
I mean, perfect.
It's like it was made for
I mean,
you.
I felt like it was. And they reached out to me, and I thought, no better than light and bubbly sparkling wine that's a healthier option. It's low calorie, low sugar.
That's amazing. Because you know what? Sometimes you just want like a little light. I don't know.
Sometimes you just want something
A little light
fresh,
bubble.
and a soft buzz. But I'm so excited to welcome them on the show.
Congratulations.
We have a new segment called Lighten Up with Libby, which we will do in just a moment.
Amazing.
But I feel like we gotta do a little taste testing session to welcome them to the show. So
I cannot
let's
wait
do it.
to taste this.
They are already in Nashville, distributed, and then there's a couple places around town where they're being served.
So which one is this?
This is the rosé.
Is it sparkling rosé?
Sparkling rosé, sparkling white, and my favorite, the sparkling red.
Ooh.
So
I cannot wait to try these.
this is a good time. Libby Wines has less sugar, alcohol, and calories. Why get blitzed when you can enjoy a soft buzz? Libby Wines. Cheers!
I love this. It reminds me of just summertime. The
Yes.
bubbly, like it's light, and I'm thinking about how can I make a French 75 with this?
I mean, they have a couple spritz recipes on their website. So drinklibby.com is where you can get all the recipes, find out where they're located. All the blends are so good. I just love a wine that has lower calories just because we're in a time where people, I think, want that. You know, there's, of course, a bunch of non-alcoholic options that are great, but there hasn't really been like a good in-between.
In between
You
is
know?
important because, you know, sometimes you want to have a cocktail, but you don't want something so strong. You just want to have like an enjoyable time, good conversation, and this is so nice for that.
I love it. Yeah, Libby Wines, check it out. And I am also thrilled because we're going to do a fun little game as a part of a new segment called Lighten Up with Libby. Cheers to that. And I thought since
I'm
you
so
were
excited.
so retro and 70s inspired, I wanted to see how well you know the 70s.
Oh, goodness.
With a little bit of that 70s trivia.
I'm ready.
So,
Let me take a sip first.
yeah, take a sip first.
Okay, I'm ready.
First question. According to Tom Petty, love is fill in the blank. Love is a
Oh, hold on. It's a long road.
yes! It's a long, long road.
It's a long, long road. I love this.
Cheers to that.
I jog to that song a lot.
You do.
I do.
Literally, on the long, long road. Okay. What song of Stevie Nicks was inspired by Tom Petty's wife, Jane Benyo? Was it American Girl, Edge of 17, or Wildflowers?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Edge of 17.
Correct. Okay, so I was looking this up.
Gosh, I'm so
Tom is
scared.
from North Florida. And
Gainesville.
Yes. So
I'm a fan.
I thought he was like British this entire time, which really shows how much research that I'm doing. But his wife was best friends with Stevie Nicks and told her that she had met him like the edge of 17. Or no. At the age of 17, Stevie Nicks misheard her Northern Floridian accent and thought she was saying edge of 17.
That's hilarious.
So that's why that song came to be.
I love that story. That's a classic story. I did not know that.
This is not a multiple choice. This is a fill in the blank to see if you
gosh.
might know this.
Okay.
Which soul singer officiated Tom Petty's wedding with his second wife?
Okay. I don't know this. Soul singer, popular?
Like big time soul singer.
I don't know, like Aretha Franklin.
Little Richard.
Little Richard. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I felt like you might like that. Okay, so which Prince song did he ask Stevie Nicks to write the lyrics for? Purple Rain, When Doves Fly, or Little Red Corvette?
Ooh.
Like, which one do you feel like he would?
When Doves Fly.
It's Purple Rain.
It's purple. Well, okay, it could have been either one.
It could have been either. When Doves
because
was
like sometimes I do feel because she has like Stevie's just like the white-winged dove sings a song sounds like she's singing. Anyway, so that's why I went white.
You should cover that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a true or false question. The Velvet Underground is a real place.
I'm gonna go real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's true.
Okay.
I think it was a clothing store from what I read. JR is like, y'all are full of.
Okay. Good. Glad.
Good, glad to hear
it
it.
was-
Let's visit. Honestly, we should see if still. Maybe it's
Meanwhile, my mother is in the audience.
she's
having a
why
great
is this a
time.
question? Okay. What instrument? This is for like the diehard Stevie Nicks fan, so I really need you to get this right. Gosh. What instrument is just a prop during Nicks performances that she doesn't actually play? That she just
Is it like an obscure instrument?
no.
It's a prop?
She uses it as a prop. She doesn't really know how to, from my research, she doesn't actually know how to really use it. It's just a part of her look.
Is it like a flute? Or
Tambourine.
It's a tambourine.
I feel like you might know that.
I feel like, I don't know why. I know does she not ever play it? I know she's like always like going around with streamers like on the back of it. But why did I get all the Tom Petty ones? I'm not getting Stevie, and Stevie is like my girl.
In Daisy Jones and the Six, what gift does she receive on her 16th birthday that inspires her to join a folk band? Was it a banjo, a guitar, or a harmonica?
A guitar.
Correct.
A guitar.
Okay, now we're getting into TV.
You know, okay, let's go into TV. I think the reason why I didn't go, I was going to say guitar, and I was like, well, that's too easy. But, okay.
It's okay. That 70s show could have been named which of the following? Teenage Wasteland, Days Like These, or Feelin' All Right?
Ooh, I feel like Feeling All Right?
Teenage Wasteland.
Teenage Wasteland.
Which honestly, okay, I was shocked by that because that didn't really sound, that sounded more 80s to me. A little bit.
Although there's a big vintage store, 70s vintage store called Wasteland. So maybe there's like a play on that. I don't know. I'm just like grasping for straws here.
Okay, I got you on these last three. The last one, I feel like it's going to be like your mantra.
Okay.
If it isn't already. Okay, what state is that 70s show based in? Minnesota, Wisconsin, or Illinois?
Wisconsin.
Yes, ma'am. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Final question, and this is a fill in the blank from one of your favorite movies of all time.
Oh.
I always tell the girls, never take it seriously. If you never take it seriously, you never get hurt. You never get hurt. You always have fun, and if you ever get lonely, just go to the what and visit your what?
The record store.
Yes! Well, good job. I feel like you know the 70s well.
I know the
were some,
70s
I
well.
kind of was just, it was a little shot in the dark, making sure I chose questions that were fun, but also.
I like the
You
challenge of it. I like the challenge. The Edge of 17. That was a cool story. And like to add on to that, because I played in Gainesville, Florida recently, someone knew that I was a Tom Petty fan, and they came up to me. This is a true story. And they're like, I went to high school with Tom Petty. Do you want to hug me? And I was like, that's a bit weird.
First of all, anybody could say that. Anyone could say that. And
it was a
you'd be
girl,
like,
though. It was a girl.
okay,
she seemed harmless, but it was just a random story. Anyway.
It was a little weird. But
Side
you know
note.
what? Shout out to her for like having that fun fact in her life.
Yeah.
You know? Well, this has been really fun.
The best.
And I'm excited for you. And yeah, it's all happening.
It's all happening. New album.
New episodes.
New episode. Libby Wines.
Sponsors.
It's all
experiences, memories.
Sunshine ahead.
Sunshine ahead. And make sure that you're subscribed to the show. YouTube, The Libby O Show. Have a website. Have an Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the places. Follow me and come hang out. And it's always, always a good time. See you guys later.